I want to go back in time. Back in time about... What the hell was that? Ooh, what the hell?
What did I say?
During the meanwhilest.
During the meanwhilest? No, I don't like that at all.
Well, hello, it's Dexy and me, back on YouTube with yet more unbearable excitement for your enjoyment today. And for today's video, I'm going to take you back, longer than that, 9 years? Yes, 8-9 years to 2012, 2013, before even Dexter was born. And I spent the largest part of 18 months around about that time visiting, hiking through, documenting, studying, photographing, researching Waterfall Country in South Wales, the southern Brecon Beacons to be precise. Now the reason for all this work was twofold. Firstly, I planned a book. I wanted to write a book about the area, not just a guidebook though. I wanted it to be a lovely sort of rich, detailed book about the history, the geology, the ecology, the wildlife and the images of the area. So that was one reason. The second reason was because I harboured desires, dreams and ambitions to resign from my job and become a full-time professional landscape photographer, which would have meant in part taking out groups of people, and I wanted one of the areas that I would specialise in to be Waterfall Country. So I spent a large proportion of that time finding the best locations to shoot from, the best conditions, the best times of year, all that sort of stuff. And in this video today, this isn't going to be one of my favourite locations videos where I tell you where to stand, you know, what to do, what time of year to go, because I've not been back to Waterfall Country now for a long time. My dream was shattered by ill health, so it was never to be, and I haven't been back there since. So I'm not best placed now to tell you, you know, how, where and when to photograph that area. What I do want to talk about today is one waterfall in particular, my favourite place to go, and two images I took at that fall, which on the face of it look very, very similar, but which are, trust me, very, very different. But before we get there though, Waterfall Country is a fantastic place to visit. I mean, if you are intending ever to go here, grab your, I put them away now, but you need an OS map, that's a given, of the southern Brecon Beacons. You're going to need some sort of guidebook, and there are a couple out there. Whether you can get them new or not, I'm not sure. But if you have a look on eBay or Amazon for, you know, southern Brecon Beacons, Waterfall Country guidebooks, you'll find something. Sadly, not one that I've written. Grab yourself one of those. But the area that I want to concentrate on today is the subject of the Four Falls Walk. It's quite a famous walk that you can undertake in Waterfall Country, and it includes the upper and the lower Clun Gwyn waterfalls, the Panwr waterfall, and Sgwd Clun. Now, Sgwd is Welsh for waterfall. Ira means snow, so it's obviously the waterfall of snow is Sgwd Clun, and that's probably the most famous one on this Four Falls walk. But that's not the one I want to concentrate on today. Now, when I used to go to the falls, I'd park on the road between Brecon and Ystrfelder, near the entrance to the Clun Gwyn bunkhouse, which is like a guest house in the area. There's a free car park there, and then you could walk down the path, follow the path to the first fall, which is the upper Clun Gwyn. You'd go past that, hop over the river by the means of like a bridge, obviously, and then I would hike down then to the lower Clun Gwyn. Now the lower Clun Gwyn is made up of, and by the way, Sgwd Clun Gwyn means fall of the white meadow in English, just so you know. So you can go past the other side of the upper Clun Gwyn and then follow the path round, and then you've got to get off the path a little bit, off the beaten track, as they say, and you'll find the lower Clun Gwyn. And this consists of 3 tiers. Obviously, you've got the upper, the middle, and the lower tier. The upper tier is a spectacular horseshoe-shaped falls. You can get some lovely images here. The middle tier is a much smaller strand of water, if you like. But the interesting feature here is the red oxide riverbed, which is really nice to photograph. And then if you get well off the path, you've got like a muddy scramble over some rocks and, you know, tree trunks and tree roots, scramble down on your backside, or you can follow a path, but the scramble is more exciting, down to the lower Clun Gwyn, and from there you can see the 3 tiers of the waterfall. And I took this picture, which I'm going to put up now. Now this was one of my favourite places of all time to go, not just to take pictures, but also just to sit there and drink in the atmosphere of, you know, the crescendo of the water falling around you. The fact that if you went there at the right time of year and day, it's so peaceful. There was nobody else around. And it's a very photogenic waterfall. A very nice place to take, you know, a series of pictures. And as I've shown you now, you've got the upper, the middle, and the lower tier. But I always thought there'd be a better image from the other side of the river. Now, you can't really cross the river when it's in full flow. It's a fast-moving, violent river, and it's quite deep. So even with chest waders on, I wouldn't want to tackle it because it's going to be slippery underfoot. The water's going to be fast-flowing and, as I said, quite deep at certain times of year. So I set out to get to the other side of the fall one day by, instead of following the path to the upper Clun Gwyn Falls, I veered off towards a viewing platform for the lower Clun Gwyn. But you can only see the top half or the top part of the waterfall from this platform. So what I decided to do, and I wouldn't recommend this, and according to a local photographer who I met out and about the other day, there's now a sign warning against doing this route. It's not even a scramble, it's a treacherous drop down the side of a gorge, effectively, down to the lower reaches of the Clun Gwyn. So you're on the opposite side of the river. Now, there's no path. It's not marked. It's kind of like half local knowledge, half guesswork. And it's treacherous. It's muddy. It's dangerous. To be frank, I wouldn't want to attempt it again. And if I were taking groups of photographers, I certainly wouldn't take a group down there. So if you want to go and take a photograph from the other side of the lower Clun Gwyn, you do it at your own risk. I'm certainly not advising you to do it. In fact, I'm advising you not to do it. But anyway, I did it that day, and I'm so glad I did, because the image I got, it transforms the lower aspect of the waterfall. Instead of like peering round the corner to the 3 tiers, they're open up right in front of you, bottom, middle and top, and it's just a much more satisfying image. And I'll put that up on screen now, and as you can see, they're very similar images, but they are so much more different. And that is the story of my outings to the lower Clun Gwyn Falls. It's a place that I will cherish in my heart and in my head for the rest of my days. If I could get back there, I would go back in a heartbeat. I really would, but I can't. I remember going there one early morning and watching dippers again on the river. You can see dippers there, but also seeing wild mink in the upper reaches of the gorge. That was nice to see. It's just such a lovely, peaceful beautiful, quiet place to go. Right, what I'm going to do now then is I'll pop up, as usual, a finishing montage of images I've shot from all over Waterfall Country, not just the Clun Gwyn and Sgwd side, but all over. And I'll label them so you know what they are. But there are so many other falls to see as well in the area. You've got Henreid Falls in the Swansea Valley, and that's quite famous for being the largest single drop waterfall in South Wales. But also because if you've seen Batman The Dark Knight Rises, the Bat Cave scenes where he's looking out beyond like the waterfall, they were filmed there. Can you believe that? A Hollywood blockbuster film filmed in the Swansea Valley. Yep, they were filmed there. You've also got Sgwd Gam, which you access from Pont Thorn. This is a day out in itself because you have to cross the river 4 or 5 times to get there. There is no path, or there certainly was no path back in the days I was going there. You'd have to scramble over rocks, up banks, cross the river a few times to get there. I remember the first time I ever went to Sgwd Gam, I got there and I've left my tripod in the car. So the photo I got is probably the worst waterfall photo I've ever taken, but in my mind it's one of the best because it reminds me of that first time that I went to Sgwd Gam, or the Fall of the Crooked Anvil as it's known in English. And that's what photography is all about, isn't it? It's about evoking those memories. It doesn't matter what the quality of the image is like, it's all about what's in here and what's in your brain. Right, that's it for this week from Dexter and me. Next week's video will be our last before we take a few weeks off, and it's going to be all about how I go about filming these videos. That'll be exciting for you, won't it? Right, so thanks very much as usual for watching. We really do appreciate every one of you watching these little videos we put together. Stay safe, stay well, stay virus-free. I was going to say vaccine-free then. Don't stay vaccine-free, get the vaccine, but stay virus-free. And Dexter and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
My heart was broken. My heart was broken. Sorrow, 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 sorrow. My heart was broken. My heart was broken. You saw it, you claimed it, you touched it, you saved it. My tears are drying. My tears are drying. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My tears are drying. My tears are drying. Your beauty and kindness made tears clear my blindness. While I'm worth my room on this earth, I will be with you. While the chief puts sunshine on me, I'll thank him for his work